taken up from ours and transformed into many other plants, not only within this country but outside, and they find that this really works in there. This was the group which was working at ICGB, where I was there, not all of them involved in flag steps, they are doing many other things. And this was one book which we published out of it, I think it was by more details of all plants and adverse stress. Now, stress is not the only thing by which genetic engineering can modify. There are many other traits which have been produced. I will take another few minutes to go through. And these are the big successful few traits: insect resistance, eating, delayed food ripening, nutritional enhancing, herbicide resistance, and virus resistance. These traits which have been successful traits in agriculture. And this is the BT technology, which all of you know. We have the BT gene from the Desmospulensis. These plants will survive. If it is not there, the best will be also these plants. Similarly, the herbicide tolerance resistance, which is these kinds of crops are cultivated in many other countries now. Herbicide resistance is very, very important for wheat management. Post-harvest losses, these are the kind of pictures you see in newspapers now that something needs to be done to protect this. If we have to improve our nutritional security, and tomato plants, many of you must have seen, which can stay fresh for a very long period of time for use of this technology. And a lot of these plants, these particular traits are now growing. In fact, since this technology came in 1996, the crop area has been increasing, and currently 20 developing countries and 8 industrial countries are growing. Despite the countries, despite the opposition, many countries are adopting this. Similarly, nutritionally enhanced plants, which are adopting nutritional security. This was the golden rice, which was developed almost 15 to 20 years back by increasing the content of beta-carotene by manipulating 4 genes. Beta-carotene level was increased, which when we, the precursor of vitamin A, and this can be a great boon for nutritional security. This is the golden rice, which many of us must have read about it, high content of beta-carotene. And only recently I heard that International Rice Research Institute in Philippines has now developed this whole technology. Initially it was developed at the lab scale in one of the varieties, but Philippines scientists have transferred this whole thing into the growing those rice varieties which are grown all over the world. And this was the group of Portuguese who developed this technology. People thought he will get the Nobel Prize, but the controversy stopped him, and this rice probably will see the light of the day. Now, we may be producing, that's where I want to connect with what we are doing with what you are. I don't know if I will be successful in doing that, because your role becomes as much important. As a laboratory scientist, we are working somewhere around these things. We are trying to, by breeding, by technology, improve new varieties, which go to the farmer's seed. The idea is to increase the yield and decrease the losses. Now, this is the one which also has to be fed to animals. You have to probably someday improve your feed and water. That's what I'm saying. So if we improve the feed and water, both the productivity and the quality of the feed through these technologies, which can go into the animals you have. And these animals, of course, go to the whole process. The broader picture is that even if you have more of productivity, whether it will reach the feed, and that is a bigger scale of operation. Storage, transportation, food processing, purchasing, market value, ICR and many other things. So you will have to, when we talk about food and nutritional security, you will have to look at a much broader picture, and not only of what I am doing at this level, but also at what needs to be done at different scales. And this is where probably few things which GM could do, genetic modified plants, we can use this technology for food and feeder to expand the area of growing fodder crops. Through this technology, we can increase the biomass, we can improve the nutrient quality, and using edible vaccines and plants as a source of vaccine. And that is one area in which I know some people are working here, and also some people, I don't know how much work is getting there, the genetic modification of animals for better meat and production. And molecular farming, the vaccines, the important area which probably some people are working on this for livestock, these edible vaccines. And I read this review, I think it's from there. Somebody reviewed this review, so I'm sure you are all aware of this. This is edible vaccine against the veterinary parasites. Something which probably more little work probably needs to be done. These are areas where I don't want to dwell much on it because you already know transgenic growths make things of immunity. They have started using antibacterial enzymes and it's something which will be very useful. Technologies of this nature which are going on. Another paper which I saw, because I know some work is being done here on RNA technology and microRNA, where they use targeted microRNA expression in dairy cattle for the production of beta-lactoglobulin 3 in many cases. And this has been possible where they are now trying to do it in calf. So initially this was known as calf. This is another major technology, the biotechnology which can be used for the quality of it. And this was a time of news. Many of you have seen UK labs had grown dolly grows pigs with new gene technology. Another new technology which has come up. It's no genetic engineering of that nature, but it is a specific gene that bring about small mutations. You won't even know in the millions of the bases which are there. A small change which is being brought about, and you get a totally different outcome. This is something which we call as the gene editing technology. So totally, you don't put up a new gene, but whatever the gene is there, you edit that gene, and it will produce a different effect. And this is something probably which could be tested. Now, last points, the debate. I'm sure things are going on in your mind. There are people for and there are people against this technology. Even people like Paul, he mentioned that the modern evils compared to the ancient evils is genetic manipulation. One of the more. These are the ancient evils, pride, envy, anger, but people probably don't know the reality. I think this is a book which has come of GMO myths and truths, which explains many things. It's a very powerful technique, precise technique, single gene transfer rather than mixing genomes. Selection process is robust. Presently, many genes come from plant to plant, so there is no question of bacteria. So why should they be up? This technology is coupled with trust in breeding, highly regulated. In fact, this is a problem, highly regulated and supervised, because this is, Bruce Stacy says, it's so over-regulated that you can't do it. It's become so expensive that you can't do it. Except private industry, Monsanto can do it. Your institute of mind cannot do this, taking this from lab to lab because you are getting it so fast. And there are many people who are against for many reasons. Just because it's in the hand of multinationals, there's a great deficit. They say it's not forward-centric, which is not true. Endangered environment, unnatural. They think it's unnatural. I just want to tell you how unnatural the normal breeding is. This was a normal maize. Many years, hundreds of that. And what is the symmetry? It is natural. This is what you have read. And this is the present rice which you eat. If you look at the genome of the present rice, see the blue line, a little bit here, left. The alternate genome at the total blue line, which is one of the genomes, totally lost to the present, just by normal breeding. There is a lot of, mixing of genomes even in the normal breeding process. And they say it's not safe antibiotic markers. Of course, we have new technologies which are made totally antibiotic free, so there should not be any problem. And there are many benefits of this. This is one poster which came that this is about the malnutrition. In the early 21st century, 500,000 children per year became blind and 6,000 per day died from vitamin A. People oppose vitamin A.